So now that we're all set up with a bank account, we've got money in that bank account, we are now ready to get a phone plan so that we can actually pay for it. Here in Germany, sometimes you cannot pay credit cards, so you could think, okay, I'll just use my international credit card, but sometimes you can only actually use your debit card. So we've set up that bank account. If we're moving too fast and you haven't actually gotten access to your bank account yet, feel free to go through this welcome program and take it one step at a time. You can pause and then come back once you have that bank account and you're ready to actually get your phone plan. Otherwise, you can also just make some notes in your program workbook. Again, there are multiple different steps that we're going to go through here in this phone plan section where you can actually pick exactly what you need, go through the different questions to ensure that you're choosing the right phone plan for you, and then picking the different German networks that you can choose from if you have a preference. So in this module, we're going to be going through the phone contract specifically. It might sound like something that's obvious. However, in Germany, it is a little bit different. Especially compared to North America, I found that we only had a couple options in North America, whereas Germany, phone contracts are very, very much a competitive market, which means great for us as consumers because we can actually save a ton when we do it right. So this module we're going to go through to figure out exactly which contract you need so that in the next module we can make sure that you get a phone plan that not only saves you a ton of money, but that is actually better for you than perhaps the phone plan that you currently already have. Even if you've been in Germany for a while, this module is going to help a lot of people save a lot of money. So just to understand when I say that here in Germany it's a little bit different, it could be the same as where you're coming from. However, for many of us, it's going to be a little bit different. So the different types of contracts here in Germany, there's 3 different ones that we like to consider. One is a prepaid, which is pay as you go. You've probably heard of this. It essentially means you're really paying as you go. And then we've also got these prepaid monthly packages, which when I first came here, I thought was the same thing and I really didn't understand and grasp the difference. But these are monthly packages which include calling, texting, and data, whereas a prepaid pay as you go package might not necessarily include that data, but you're paying per minute or per SMS. And then you've got your annual contracts, which lock you in to a 1 or 2 year plan, and these will include calling, texting, and data, and can often also include a phone. So we're gonna go through each one of these individuals so that you can really see, okay, yes, this is exactly the one that I need, because it should be quite obvious once we go through them. As I mentioned, prepay pay as you go will allow you to pay per minute or text that you send out, but you won't have the option to actually use data. Sometimes you do have this option to use data, but it can add up to be relatively expensive because you don't have that in a prepaid package or a plan. You will be provided with a SIM card and a mobile phone number, just as you would any other contract, but you will not have the option to purchase a phone with that contract. So that means if you're looking at saving some money on a phone by buying into a contract, this isn't going to be an option because it is not actually technically a contract. You are paying as you go, so you can also cancel and you don't have to pay if you're not sending out those texts or calls. If this is something that is interesting to you, perhaps you would love to use this for your child who's coming with you to Germany, or for your grandmother, or perhaps you just really don't use your phone that often, that you don't mind paying as you go, then you can actually easily purchase one of these prepaid pay-as-you-go plans at almost any grocery store around Germany. I'm saying you can really go hop into REWE, Penny, Lidl. We'll go through these grocery stores a little bit later on in the module so you know which grocery stores are more affordable, which ones are perhaps a little more targeted to those people who enjoy organic products, what have you. But you can really pick up one of these contracts at almost every single grocery store here around Germany, so it is very simple to get. You can also get them online as well. And we will go through a bunch of the companies that you can go online and get one of these contracts if you'd like. Otherwise, any links that you're going to need in this lecture will be included down below. Your second option would be the prepaid monthly package. And I tend to lean a little bit more towards this because it is a great money-saving option if you do use your phone quite often, as many of us do, but you don't want to be locked into a contract. So a prepaid monthly package is essentially a standard phone contract contract, but it includes data, it includes texting, and it includes calling. And you can choose different packages based on how much you want to spend. So this is the big difference between being in an actual contract versus being in a prepaid monthly package. So the monthly package is going to be likely a lot cheaper than a standard contract because you're not getting that phone with it. And this market is highly competitive, which means you have a ton of options both online and in grocery stores to make a selection that's right for you. You also have the option, which I find very important, is to top up your mobile data when you've gone over your limit. So perhaps you have 2 gigabytes of data. You will likely actually get a text message from your mobile provider saying you have the option for this amount of money to top up for an extra 250 megabytes or 2 gigs, whatever that might be. They will likely notify you. Otherwise, you can also change the settings where it automatically updates that for you, but you have a ton of control here. If you often find that you are going over your data, you can also easily switch between different contracts within that company. Your mobile number and your SIM card will be exactly the same, but you can actually go online and easily switch between different contracts within the same company. Similar to pay-as-you-go, you can purchase these pretty much everywhere at every grocery store here in Germany. You can also compare prices online. I'm going to include a ton of links below and as well in the next module for you. And although this is a type of plan, a type of contract that you're paying monthly for, you're paying a set price, might be anywhere from perhaps $4.99 to $17.99, $21.99. They're usually quite affordable. You can actually cancel your plan month by month at any time. If you cancel within the middle of the month, they will charge you that full price until the end of the month or till the end of the month where you've registered, but it is very easy to cancel your plan. It is also interesting to mention that some of them also allow you to pause your plan. So for people like myself who decide to go back home and visit my family in Canada a couple months a year, I can actually just go in and pause my account. By doing that, some of them have a pay-as-you-go plan within the same company. So I can actually choose pay-as-you-go because if I'm not using anything on my phone, it means you're paying €0. And then when I come home, I can switch it to the small, medium, large plan, whatever that might be called, and then pay my normal fee going forward. And then you've got your standard contract, which is typically a phone contract that will lock you in for 1 to 2 years, and that's because you are getting that phone with it. However, I don't believe it's actually legal to lock somebody into a contract. So basically, the way of getting out of a contract like this would be to pay off the full price of that phone that you got within the contract. So if you don't want to have to pay off the price of the phone, then you will be locked into a 1 or 2 year contract with any company that you choose to buy this contract with. So as mentioned, on most standard phone contracts, you will have the option to buy into a phone at a discounted rate, and that is why you aren't actually able to jump out of a phone plan or out of a phone contract if you have the phone included in the package. There are so many different options with this monthly prepaid package that I would definitely consider that option unless you're really keen on buying a phone within the contract. When you are buying one of these locked-in contracts, they are able to offer you a little bit more flexibility. So perhaps you choose a package that you like, but you would like a little bit more data included in the package or something like that. This can easily be discussed and be managed with one of these contracts because they are able to change and recreate your contract in order to make you a happy and a valued customer. You can't just go into a REWE or a Penny or Lidl or Aldi and buy one of these contracts. You are going to have to go into one of the retail shops here when you actually arrive in Germany. So Vodafone or O2, for example, are both very popular options, and we will go more into that again in the next module. I love picking out phone plans because I find it so much fun to really try to find the best deal that offers the most data, unlimited calling and texting for the least amount of money. And this can easily be done if you do it right. There are many ways to compare different prices and many different websites that will offer you very competitive rates for a phone plan that we're going to mention in the next module. And I have actually done this myself as well. So when I first got here, I jumped into a Lidl. I picked a monthly package off the shelf that cost me $7.99 a month. It gave me enough gigabytes for what I needed it for at the time, and I used that for years. It wasn't actually until last year when I realized You know what? For the sake of the tribe and trying to figure out which phone plan is exactly the best deal, I'm gonna go do the comparisons and see how easy it is to actually switch phone plans. Turns out it is very easy to switch your phone contract. As I mentioned, you can stop it at the end of every month. That's exactly what I did. I received a new card from my new provider, which happens to be at the moment WinSim, and I was able to pay even less for more gigabytes. So the competition is high, which means we have tons of opportunity to get you a kick-ass phone plan for a very, very affordable price. Let's head on over.